Welcome back to Destination PW. I'm your boy Ango, and today's video we got 3 news stories. As you guys can see the image on the screen, we're going to talk a little bit about NXT, what to expect for the relaunch of NXT, because trust me when I tell you guys, it's some pretty exciting stuff, or maybe it's some pretty disastrous stuff, but nonetheless, that's for you guys to decide. We're going to talk about AEW All Out, because AEW All Out did break some records, so we're going to talk a little bit about what that actually means for the company, and then we're going to top it off with a huge update in regards to Braun Strowman and AEW, because everybody wants to know what is happening there. Now, with that being said, guys, if you want more videos like this, the best way to support the channel is by subscribing and clicking that bell. This way you could actually get notified on all of the latest content right here on Destination PW. And then if you guys want, we also have a Discord server. It's entirely free. We're building a pro wrestling community where friends and fans can come together and discuss all of the latest in pro wrestling as it is happening. So I highly encourage all of you guys to check out the links in the description. And don't forget, we do have the DPW channel membership program. It's $4.99 a month if you guys want to, help a brother out. But nonetheless, we have the image of NXT on the screen, and there is a good reason for that. That is because NXT is going to be relaunching this upcoming Tuesday. It's going live, and I'm not sure if WWE has done a good enough job of prepping the world for this. I don't know if there's a lot of excitement behind this, but I do know based on my Twitter feed, if you guys aren't following me at the official Ango, I've seen some tweets. Some people think this is going to be disastrous. Some people think this is going to be major. But essentially what's happening is WWE NXT is fully being relaunched. As you guys saw, the new logo. But on top of that, the CWC, the Capital Wrestling Center, the Performance Center is what it's really originally known as. Because if you guys didn't know, NXT will not be filmed at Full Sail, which may be problematic because I think Full Sail was great for them. But nonetheless, at the Performance Center, WWE is totally redesigning the NXT arena, and it's going to have a whole different feel, whole different look to the show. And what is being said is that Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Matt Bloom are all going to be running NXT like before. So there is no change there. But the big change that people are expecting to see would potentially be the production value. So it's being said that Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn are taking over production. The reason why this is important is because now there are talks of NXT being a little bit more of a scaled down version of the main roster. Now, that is pretty vague when you think about it, but it could be a good thing, especially if it means that NXT won't be incredibly overproduced. I think the best thing for the NXT brand is to go back to basics, back at Full Sail, the way it was years and years ago. That's when NXT was the best show. So personally, when I see something like this, I think it's actually a good move for WWE to switch things up. I feel like they could have done a better job of hyping it up. But from what's being said, a lot of the talent, a lot of the wrestlers, a lot of the people working behind the scenes are actually really happy with the way things are coming along. So ultimately, I think it is a great decision by WWE to redesign NXT, but most importantly, also amplify what the show can actually do and what it can actually become. So yes, it's going to have some influence from the main roster. It's also being said that there's going to be a lot more introductions to new characters, new gimmicks, whatever that may actually mean. I'm not really sure. With WWE these days, it's really hard to predict, but nonetheless, it's something to keep in mind. So just with that being said, make sure you guys tune in this Tuesday on USA Network, because NXT is coming out full swing, and I'm kind of excited about it. But we'll be seeing if I have to eat my words. So, with that being said, we're moving on to topic number 2, AEW All Out. A lot of people love the pay-per-view. I know when I did a poll here on Destination PW, not everybody, I think I saw a very, very, very slow amount of, or very low amount of a response saying that the show sucked. I think everybody pretty much unanimously agrees that the show was good. I was there. I thought it was great. I ended up watching it back on pay-per-view just to see what it was like with commentary, and I think the pay-per-view was just as good inside the arena as it was watching it from home. The great news here, though, is AEW actually set a record. This is the first pay-per-view that they've had where they did over 200,000 pay-per-view buys. For some people who may think that's low, just keep in mind that the last pay-per-view CM Punk was on in WWE, that pay-per-view did less than 200,000 buys. So for those who are naysayers towards AEW, whether or not you like them, whether or not you hate them, that's up to you to decide. But when it comes to the actual numbers and the statistics and the analytics of what this company is doing, Over 200,000 buys is truly impressive. And I got to give AEW credit here because I feel like having the structure of just doing 4 pay-per-views is massive. I think that right there is a great thing for AEW because it gets people excited about the product. Keep in mind also with the 4 pay-per-views that they do, you see a lot of people outside traveling to the state, to the venue. And I think that's actually a really remarkable thing that AEW has done. So AEW doing over 200,000 pay-per-view buys is truly impressive. Now, obviously, with channels like Destination PW, when news comes out that potentially Daniel Bryan is going to be there early instead of Arthur Ashe, when we broke the story and we were talking about Adam Cole, a lot of people are getting excited about this pay-per-view. And then, obviously, most importantly, the biggest factor to this is CM Punk's first match in 7 years. So just kind of keep that in mind. How this remains will be very interesting to see. But Full Gear will be happening in November. Will Full Gear beat All Out? Well, that is largely due to how AEW performs on a week-to-week basis. So if AEW continues this momentum and they continue to bring in big names, Full Gear is going to be a massive pay-per-view. And with rumors of Bray Wyatt coming to AEW, one has to be really excited about that. Which, by the way, if you guys actually missed that video, go ahead and check out DestinationPW.com because we have the latest upload there. Bray Wyatt possible plans at Full Gear. So just something to keep in mind if you guys are unaware. And then on to our final story of the day. Everybody wants to know what is happening with Braun Strowman. There's been a lot of talk about Braun Strowman since he was released from the WWE. I don't know the exact figures, but it was said that Braun Strowman had over $1 million contract with WWE, which was one of the reasons why WWE actually made the decision to let him go. And then, of course, people started talking about whether or not Braun Strowman would come back to WWE. Now, Braun Strowman is working on controlling the narrative. He's working alongside EC3, who's been prominently on ROH. So a lot of people want to know what's happening with Braun and whether or not he's going to go to AEW because there was a rumor that suggested he could sign with AEW. While that is possible, it's actually being expected that Braun Strowman will not sign directly with AEW, but instead he will go on to Impact Wrestling. Very oddly enough, too, I do want to make a mention of this. There's talks of Braun Strowman's new in-ring name being Titan. Take what you will out of that statement. I don't know how I feel about that name, but Braun Strowman showing up in Impact Wrestling would be massive for Impact Wrestling, and it doesn't necessarily impact AEW at all. AEW is making a great job. They're doing a great job with just who they've been signing lately, so ultimately I don't think it's a big deal, but it's something to kind of keep in mind because, as you guys know, especially in a situation like this, Braun Strowman can work with Impact, also work with New Japan, also work with AAA, and also work with AEW, which is kind of the rumor that's floating around. The rumor is he may sign to Impact, but being part of that forbidden door is a potential possibility. So something to keep in mind, Braun Strowman right now has not had any, there's no talks between him and AEW signing with AEW. Can that change? Absolutely. But I think more likely we will see him in Impact Wrestling. And to add fuel to the fire, we all know Scott D'Amore has made some comments publicly about Buddy Murphy and Braun Strowman going to AEW. So just something to keep in mind. But guys, that's today's video. More news, more rumors, more opinions. You guys already know the drill. Destination PW is the destination for pro wrestling content. That also includes DPW Games, a new playlist that we have here on the YouTube channel. I bring you guys some news and gameplay videos. And don't forget DPW After Dark, a really cool live show that we've been doing. So just something to keep in mind. We have something for everybody. And if you guys want more of this, go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell, and show your support. And don't forget about our channel memberships because we do have channel memberships, only $4.99 a month. So just something to keep in mind if you guys want to support the growth of this channel. I'm all in, and I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.